Look, I could say I have a problem with a few of the things that Phil Steele put in his venerable football preview that, us football fans, we really love and we look forward to every single year because it means that we get to talk about college football in a real way, right? Comes out last week of June about. And there's a couple takeaways that I could argue about, like him having Sam Ehlinger as a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, or him having TCU's Jalen Reagor as a better wideout than CeeDee Lamb, or even Keyshawn Vaughn, who's a really good running back, rated ahead of other running backs. But I'm still stuck on the whole college football playoff thing, because people ask me, hey, RJ, who do you have in the college football playoff this year? And I'm going, bro, I got to go through some more research. But Phil apparently felt really comfortable putting Alabama and Clemson in the college football playoff like the rest of us and calling, who's the national champion. Shout out to, Terry Beckham, man, who comes up with pre-peat when you're predicting a repeat of last year's college football champion. Got to use that more often. Shout out to Terry. But I see Georgia and Michigan. Right? There's the Michigan man. There's Patrick with, he's happy about this. But Jim Harbaugh has never beaten Ohio State. So you're saying he's going to beat Ohio State. And you're also forgetting that Michigan hasn't beaten Ohio State since Jalen Hurts was 11. Okay. And I get that you can like Josh Gaddis leaving Alabama to be the new offensive coordinator at Michigan and say that offense is going to fit Shea Patterson in a better way. Cool. And I also get you saying that Michigan has its big games in the big house. Notre Dame, Michigan State, and Ohio State are all there. And you might not think that Devin Bush and Rashawn Gary are big losses to the defense because Don Brown have them angry and nasty. Okay, cool. And then you look at Georgia, and you're going, okay, you got Alabama and Georgia in the SEC title game like everybody else who's making picks at this point. And you got them there going, they're going to lose to Alabama, and they're still going to get in. Or they're going to beat Alabama, and they're both going to get in on the strength of having played one another. And I can't tell you how much people outside the Southeastern Conference hate that. But okay. And then I do my own schedule analysis, and I go, both of those teams get friggin' Notre Dame at home. And Notre Dame ain't nobody. Matter of fact, every year Notre Dame ain't played nobody. And yet, because they're on Georgia and Michigan schedule this year, we're going, no, they're playing somebody. Have you looked at Notre Dame's schedule? Because I've looked at Notre Dame's schedule. And my goodness. Louisville, okay, cool. World beater that team is. New Mexico, garbage. Georgia, hey, I just told you about that game. Virginia, we'll have to wait and see, but I suspect they ain't going to compete for any division crown. Bowling Green? Who is Bowling Green? USC, garbage. Michigan, told you about them. Va-Tech, we'll have to wait and see. But I suspect they ain't going to be pretty good. After all, they got whipside by Old Dominion. Duke, garbage. Navy, maybe. But we're not going to be talking about Navy like even we were talking about Army last year. And it's the same committee that didn't think anything of Army. And having had 2 losses, one to Duke and the other one to a team that made the college football playoffs. So you really think the Navy's going to be that good? Okay, cool. Boston College. Nah, man. Stanford. Why do people keep picking Stanford when all they do is let you down? So I'm looking up going, are we really overhyping Notre Dame again through Georgia and Michigan? Like, it's not a Big 12 thing. It's certainly not a Big 10 thing, and it's certainly not a Pac-12 thing. It's a thing where I go, why do people so overrate Notre Dame every year? Cool, Ian Book's coming back. That's great. Did you forget they lost Jerry Tillery? Huh? Because I didn't. Did you forget that they lost first-round talent at wide receiver? Because I didn't. And more importantly, did you forget that they got mollywopped and skull drug by Clemson? And you're like, hey, man, Clemson was beating up everybody that year. Yeah, well, we would have much rather seen Ohio State or Georgia in that slot, even as Kirby Smart was out there stomping that his team needed to be in the playoff, than Notre Dame. Because every year people try to overhype Notre Dame. I I see two ranked teams on this schedule, man. Like, preseason rankings come out. Louisville ain't going to be on them. New Mexico ain't going to be on them. Virginia ain't going to be on them. Bowling Green ain't going to do it. USC, Vodtech, please. Duke, no. Like, you go down this schedule and you go, you're telling me that Notre Dame is a big game for Georgia, and you're telling me that Notre Dame is a big game for Michigan. I got a much better idea thinking Michigan State is a bigger game for Michigan. And I'm looking at Georgia's schedule. Vanderbilt, all right, maybe Keyshawn Vaughn can run on them again, but they'll lose. Murray State, all right. Arkansas, really? Arkansas State, excuse me, really? That is not even Arkansas. It's Arkansas State. I thought it was Arkansas. At Tennessee, oh yeah, they're world beaters this year. South Carolina, doesn't know if it's coming or going. Kentucky, maybe. Florida, probably not. Missouri, maybe. Auburn, all right, cool. A&M, all right, cool. And then Georgia Tech with Jeff Collins or whatever he's going to put out there. Look, I don't like doing the college football playoff preview thing because I can come up with all sorts of arguments for why there are only two teams to worry about right now when we're talking about winning a national championship. Now, Patrick, I know you feel pretty good because your boys got a W last night when they weren't supposed to get a W. And now, I'm banging on Michigan. Do you see where I'm coming from, though?
Yeah. I mean, look, Notre Dame's schedule, is it worse than OU's?
Depends on how good Texas is. Depends on how good Iowa State is.
I would, again, Texas is OU's best game this year, right as we sit here.
LSU.
I'm
Texas.
OU,
OU's my bad.
OU's best game.
Yeah, my bad. My fault.
As we sit right here.
Right.
Look, and as far as his pick, I don't see how you right now could say OU's not going to be in the playoff because I look at OU's schedule and they should win every game. Now they probably will get tripped up somewhere, but I would definitely put OU in the playoff as we sit right now, the way their team is constructed without seeing what the defense is going to be. But yeah.
No, you're making a good point, right? Because my argument here in June is there are basically two at-large bids for the third and fourth best
Unless
teams.
something crazy happens, yeah.
Well, but seriously, everybody's penciling in Clemson, everybody's penciling in Alabama, and you'd be stupid not to at this point.
Sure.
But because you don't know exactly what you're getting with Ryan Day's Ohio State, they're out there. I mean, you can make an argument for Oklahoma. You can make an argument for Washington.
Yeah.
And there was a point last year where you could make an argument for Washington State, Kentucky, LSU, A&M. People still loved A&M even if they got beat down.
Yeah.
It's not even that I'm banging on Notre Dame when I'm banging on Georgia or Michigan. Yeah. But betting on Michigan to make the college football playoff when they can't even beat basically the Texas version of their rivalry is I can't sign on with that, man. Phil's big thing is I'm not going to overhype players and coaches who haven't played before, who haven't showed me that they could do something. So he's backpedaling, getting Kyler Murray wrong because he's like, look, nobody knew that he was going to be that good. You can't. And that's one of the things that he's basing his Jalen Hurts take on. But if you're going to do that, do it with the schedules too.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like I said, I think Notre Dame's schedule, if you look at the names, is a good schedule. If you look at the names. Now, that doesn't, again, USC we know is garbage, is trash. But generally, that's a good program.
Navy's generally a good program.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to give them the same sort of name recognition that you give SC.
No, of course not.
And that's the other thing that really bugs me, right? Just right quick. If Notre Dame beats Georgia and if Notre Dame beats Michigan, now we got to talk about Notre Dame being a team in the college football playoff based on going into those places and getting those W's. And then you look at their November schedule, and if Stanford isn't any good, we'll all say they didn't play anybody.
Oh, look, if Notre Dame was to run that table, they'd be playoff worthy. I'd say they'd be playoff worthy.
Well, if Michigan were to run the table, if Georgia were to run the table, that's kind of that's my issue here, right? Is we expect two teams to run the table. Like you're saying that you don't see a loss on Oklahoma's schedule. I'm saying Iowa State walked into Norman and beat Baker Mayfield. I'm saying that the neutral ground that we contest our annual Highlander on, that is the Cotton Bowl, has shown Texas can get a win. TCU, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, they could get a win. And that's my thing here. I can see losses for everybody right now
course.
except those two teams.
Except Alabama, Clemson.
So I guess, you could say that Phil is not wrong because he just threw a couple teams in there because he needed to complete it. And this is like, is that what we're doing?
Look, sometimes when you look at these magazines, Phil's a businessman. He's in the business.
Oh, yeah, that was the move. Yeah.
He's in the business of selling magazines, and those are provocative picks. People are going to want to see, you picked Michigan. That's going to make a whole bunch of Ohio State fans mad. And chances are they pick up the book and read it. It's going to make Michigan fans happy. I'm happy. Phil's a smart guy, in my opinion, today.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
and again, we're picking games in June, and I think you make a great point of when I look at OU's schedule, I sit here and say, I think they're the favorite in every game. I mean, that's fact. We can look at that right now and say they are. What if Jalen Hurts isn't the player we thought? What if the O-line doesn't gel?
Well,
again, you can put what ifs on all that.
Yeah, you can put what ifs on what if Trevor Lawrence breaks his arm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that we could say that he's in the business of selling magazines, but he's also not in the business of being drugged for his picks, any more than I'm in the business of just being provocative for provocative sake. I don't say anything that I don't mean.
Yeah.
And I mean everything that I say because why? The life's too short not to do that.